Hi guys, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about this. So this is Armour Detail Supply Clean Citrus Cleaner Concentrate. So this is Armour's APC, all-purpose cleaner. I will say, I kind of chuckled when I read the name because there is another detailing brand called Clean. There's Clean APC and Clean APC, right? Because at some point Clean will have an APC. But anyway, I think the name makes sense, right? It describes what it does. What does this do? It cleans, right? It's got a orange scent. It is a citrus-based cleaner. It does come with a foil cap in here to keep it sealed. And this is a 16-ounce bottle. Now, this was sent to me. I've had it for about a week and a half. I have not used it yet. Today is the Sunday. Today is the Sunday before the launch. Some of you might wonder, I do receive products occasionally for testing that are given to me for free. But I have purchased many products from ADS before. I've tested and used their entire line of products. And you might wonder how this stuff works. So I'll just kind of explain it to you. About 3 weeks ago, I got an email notification that I had a shipment headed to me from Armour Detail Supply. I can't remember if it was UPS or FedEx. It's one of the two, because I get the shipping notifications like a lot of people do. And inside the box were two products. There was this clean 16-ounce bottle and this Trim Plus, which are both two new ADS products. And I honestly didn't even know they were coming out with any new products. And inside the box was a letter. It says, ADS supporters, thank you guys for everything. You each play a role in our small company. We're grateful for your support. In this box, you'll find two new items, our Clean APC and our Trim Plus coating. As of now, if all goes well, these are scheduled to launch on June 13th at 7 p.m. on the ADS website. We'll be doing a live giveaway and Q&A with the guys on the Detail Grind podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. In the meantime, please use the products starting Monday, June 9th. Tease some stories, posts, etc., but please don't launch any actual more in-depth videos until the morning of Friday the 13th. At that point, we can all start posting and building some attention around the launch of the product. Again, thank you all so very much for the support. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And, DJ's phone number and email address are on there. So, I didn't ask for it, but I have it. And I figured it would be a good opportunity to test. I historically have really liked Armour Detail Supply's products. I like Hero, I like their wheel cleaner, I like their tire cleaner, I like Pilot, I like Easy Beads, I like their panel prep. So in general, their line has been pretty good. Now, some of them were on my best of video last year, and if you've been following for the last couple of months, you will see that maybe some of them have gotten unseated at this point and won't be my number one pick. But I still think that they're a really solid line. They're US made. In general, I think that it's an overall good brand. So we'll test this out. Now, on the back it says, introducing Clean All-Purpose Cleaner, citrus-powered solution built to handle the toughest grime without compromising safety. Natural orange oil, carefully balanced, non-caustic formula. Clean is safe for use on both interior and exterior vehicle surfaces, perfect from everything to plastics and leather to wheel wells and engine bays. Thickening agents in Clean create a rich lather through trigger sprayers, foamers, and foam cannon, providing optimal cling, extended working time, and much more effective cleaning. The formula rinses freely without leaving residue and includes corrosion inhibitors to prevent damage to surfaces. It's kind of cool for engine bays. Formulated with biodegradable surfactants and free from harsh chemicals like caustic soda, Clean is a professional-grade cleaner that's tough on grime but gentle on your surfaces and your lungs. Finished with a crisp, natural orange scent, it's pleasant to use, it's effective. Clean is your go-to for powerful results, safe ingredients, and a better detailing experience. So they give you 3 different dilutions, 4-to-1 for heavy-duty cleaning, 10-to-1 for medium-duty cleaning, 20-to-1 for light cleaning and maintenance. And then there's some safety precautions and a QR code on the back. So, like I mentioned before, I like Armour's branding. I like their sprayers. They use spray plast sprayers. I like their bottle design. All of that stuff has always been good. Their packaging, stuff arrived unscathed. There are no issues. They're sold at a lot of popular places. Rag Company has them. The House of Rags has them. I generally buy from the House of Rags because the House of Rags has a really wide range of products and free shipping over $125, and their codes like mine, IG10, that save you 10% off. So generally that's kind of where I end up going for the products as well. I'm going to test this out today to clean an engine bay. And I thought that what I could do is I could use it in a foam cannon and foam the engine bay, and then we'll see how it works, let it dwell, and rinse it off. The GLK has a little bit of a mess in the engine bay, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to do that. I talked about it when I did the oil change and service for that car, but I haven't gotten to it yet. And we'll go from there. Now, they're giving recommended dilutions between 4:1 and 20:1. I'm going to try to get as close to 10:1 as possible. I'm going to use this Action Products foam cannon. This guy automatically dilutes, it's like 10 or 11:1 if you run a product straight inside it, meaning undiluted product inside the cannon. So that's what we're going to do. All of my foam cannons are a little bit different. Griot's is closer to 15:1. The Active is closer to 15:1. MJJC is like 12:1. I've done a video testing and going through these before. So one thing to note is if you want to have this, heavy duty cleaning option, and you want to get close to that 4:1, you're not going to be able to do it in a foam cannon. You're going to have to use something like a spray foamer or a spray bottle, right? Because these dilute inside the head, and of all of the foam cannons I've ever tested, this one dilutes the least at 10:1. So I'm going to put this in here straight. As we're using it, what we're going to find is that the water going through the manifold is going to dilute this, and we're going to end up with something that's around 1 to 10, 1 to 11. So here we are. It's not very viscous, which means it'll work well in any foam cannon, even if you're using like a metering tip or something along those lines, which a metering tip is going to get you a higher dilution, not a lesser dilution, so it's kind of opposite. But there are some metering tips that'll get you close to like the 20:1, so if you did want to test that out, that would be a good option for doing it. I see me personally using it in one of these spray bottles, like this APC that I have up here, which is currently Green Star, and using it as a replacement for that. I do like an orange scent, so from that perspective, it already has kind of a win for me over Green Star. But we'll see how it is. We'll see how it works. We're going to spray the engine bay, and we're going to rinse it off. My favorite kind of engine bay cleaner right now is Cleantel, and I have a gallon of Cleantel degreaser on its way to me. I like that it's fully biodegradable, it's very safe, and it works insanely well as a spray-on, rinse-off style product. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the GLK around, we'll get the camera set up, and then we'll spray out the engine bay. All right, so here you can see the engine bay. We've got a lot of like grease, grime, a little bit of oil here, not because the engine is leaking, but because the oil filter is literally right here. So when you pull the oil filter out, it's not uncommon for you to get some oil there. There is a little bit around the cap as well, the fill cap. So there's quite a bit of spots here that we're going to have an opportunity to use this. Sorry. Adjust the camera a little bit right there because the wind is going to put this over there. Dang, that's thick. Maybe the 20:1 would have been a better starting point. Well, cool. So let's let this sit and dwell for a minute. We can agitate a couple surfaces if we want to. I don't want to agitate everything because I want to be able to compare the difference between agitated and unagitated sections of car, but we can test this out. So we can agitate that half, do this half, some of the oil stuff down here. Smells good. Smells like a, I don't know, like a citrus degreaser. Smells good. So Let that sit for a minute here. And then let's try rinsing it off. Well, that worked really well. So there are still a couple heavy spots, like here, although I can't even really rub that off with my finger. It is pretty thick. And again, over here, next to the oil filter, there are a couple heavy spots. So it may make sense to hit it again, do a little bit more targeted cleaning. This is 4-to-1 in here. So we'll get this area right here. We'll get this area over here. Kind of around some of these heavier spots. Let this sit and dwell for a minute, and then we'll hit it again. So I would say we achieved, you know, like 80 to 90% cleanup on our engine bay with our first shot, right? Like the side rails look great. This whole section over here looks great. All of this over here, the washer bottle, the brake reservoir, that all looks great. This whole section over here where the coolant reservoir is, down into the fan, the belts, the hoses, you know, all of this stuff looks nice and clean. Really, it's just the heavy that's around like the oil fill and around the oil filter, maybe a couple spots like right up here on top where some oil might have gotten on some things. Those are the ones where we're just needing a little bit more. And I'm seeing, even as I'm spraying it on top of itself, it's pushing that oil off. And, you know, we're seeing that the fall off is brown without any sort of agitation. So I will say that it's a pretty effective cleaner overall. And it's not gagging me as I'm using it. It's not abrasive. It just seems to work really, really well. This IK sprayer is working well also. You know, Armour uses spray plast sprayers, which I really, really enjoy. Maybe it'd be cool if they came out with a dilution bottle, since you don't use this straight, to allow you to dilute and have like an Armour branded bottle, kind of like Phoenix COD does. But yeah, so we've let that sit. Let's spray it off. That's honestly pretty similar to my experience with a lot of other APCs, like Koch-Chemie Green Star, for example. I would say it has about the same effectiveness as I'm used to with GS, which, you know, Green Star is an excellent product. Yeah, it just overall worked very well. Did a great job. I don't have anything left behind, especially like on all of these top surfaces, even the ones that I didn't agitate. They're not turning my fingers black or anything like that. So seems like it did an overall good job. Stick this back on here. You can see a bit of a before and after on that top panel. We'll rinse this off. There we go. And yeah, came out great. So the next thing I usually do is apply a little bit of a plastic dressing or a trim dressing on this. This is Meguiar's 1 to 10. Good use of those fantastic clean towels, right? I know that there's a good chance this guy's gonna get thrown away when I'm done. Yeah, so that's that, nice and simple. Did a good job. I would say that it did the kind of job that I would expect, right? Very similar to like the performance I get out of Green Star, which is a Koch-Chemie product. Very popular, a lot of people use it. At the 1 to 10 dilution, which is what I normally use Green Star at, it took off a lot of the surface, dirt, grime, oil. Using something a little bit more targeted at like a 1 to 4, it definitely did more. And you know, we saw that, of course. You know, all in, I would say it was a great experience using it. It's good scent. Another nice Armour Detail Supply product. Like I said, you know, DJ, Bradley, if you watch this, be cool to see a dilution bottle. Since this isn't a ready-to-use product, to have something that comes with a sprayer as an empty bottle that has the right branding and all of that, that somebody could buy, mix it 1 to 10 or 1 to 4 or whatever they decide, and then use this as a concentrate. Yeah, but all in all, worked great. Thanks for sending it to me. I'll put a link in the description to the House of Rags. It's where I normally buy ADS from. You can also buy it directly from them. And you can also buy it from the Rag Company and several other companies. So there'll be links down below. Feel free to check those out. If you use my House of Rags link, you will save 10%, and I will get a 10% kickback. So that's one of the ways that you help to support my channel. I do not have an affiliate link for the Rag Company. I do have one direct for ADS, but it's a lot easier to mix and match on House of Rags than it is to buy, you know, $125 worth of a particular line's products. If you're looking for other ADS products, I really like Pilot. Their wheel cleaner is great. Their panel wipe is also really solid. So, you know, there's some other things that you might want to check out. And yeah, that's all I have for today. I will do the trim coating on a different time, on a different video, on a different car. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but we will test it out and see how it works. I might actually use it on the Mercedes on the front grille, because there are 3 front grills and I did 2 of them, but not the other. So maybe we'll use it for that. That's not today, different video. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.